Hey everybody, welcome back to Welker's Farms. This is episode number 8 into our adventure. We are just hanging out with the cows here, got nothing to do right now. So it's just a little bit after 11 o'clock in the morning. We're going to go get some lunch real soon. And right now we're just taking care of the cows. Everything looks good on this end. They got lots of water, lots of total mixed ration, lots of straw, lots of grass. There's lots of manure there too. We should actually get a trailer and pick that up. So far so good. We've still got $151,000 in the bank. Nothing is wrong. We got some silage on the ground there. We got to pick that up. Nothing has really happened yet today. So I don't know. Seems like a pretty calm day. We're going to clean up the silage and throw it in the silo. And then I think we're going to go get some lunch. So let's get this done real quick. I do have to customize this tractor. I want to take those dual wheels off the back so it fits better in here. We keep hitting the side of the barn. And I don't want to cause any more damage than I have already. So I think maybe at some point soon we're going to have to maybe we'll get Rick to remove the dual wheels off the back of this tractor just so we can get it in and out of the cow barn okay. Everything's really good. It's a nice quiet day so far. There we go. But you know, around here you can never take that for granted. It's not going to probably be quiet for soon. Any minute now I'm expecting something to happen. I know it's not a very good way to live, but you know, with all that's going on around here and David in power as mayor, you never really know what's going to happen. So we just take it day by day, I guess, here on Welker Farms. All right, so that's all cleaned up. We got nothing else to do. I think we'll go and grab some lunch. Stop by and see if Rick needs anything from the hamburger stand there outside the shop, and then we'll head on over there. It's a nice, bright, sunny day. Clouds are rolling in, though. Hopefully, we don't get a lot of rain. I do want to plant some. I think I'm going to plant some canola today in place of the soybeans, just so we can keep the soil going. And then we'll go from there. All right. Yeah, everything looks good. Yeah, we're going to go check with Rick first. We'll be nice and see if Rick needs anything. Hey, Rick, I'm going to grab some lunch. Do you want anything?
Yes, of course, but I have to take the John Deere tractor for a tune-up first so we can plant later.
Hey, that's okay, man. Listen, I'm going that way anyway. I'll take the John Deere, drop it off at the shop, and wait for the maintenance to be done, and then I'll grab you some lunch. How's that?
That sounds good. I will have a cheeseburger, please.
Hey, that's no problem, man. I'll be back in a little bit. All right. So Mr. Rick wants a cheeseburger, and we have to drop the 9RX off at the maintenance shop. Just scheduled maintenance, you know, just making sure all the bolts are tight and tracks are nice and working. Let's unhook the seeder here. We don't need to bring that. All right, so we're going to head on down to the maintenance shop, and then we'll zip on over to the burger shop, or the burger stand there. I think her name is Wendy that runs it. She's still there. So we'll chat with Wendy for a bit, see what's going on, and we'll get Rick a cheeseburger. All right, so here we are arriving at the maintenance shop here. We're just going to leave this right here. Hopefully, I wonder if David's in the office. Well, who cares? We're not really here to see him right now. We've got his money, and he'll get his money later on this evening at midnight when the taxes come out. And we've got more than enough there. We owe $50,000 apparently. So $30,000 for the taxes, or $20,000 for the taxes, and another 10 for the penalty plus 20 to get the, I don't know. It doesn't matter. All I know is that my harvester's in the impound yard with the header, and we need to pay a total of $50,000 to get it out, which we have, and that'll leave us with a $100,000. Well, there's Wendy. All right, she's here today. Let's go in and see what's going on. Hey, Wendy, can I get 2 cheeseburgers to go with 2 orders of fries? And how are things going today? How are you?
It will be about 20 minutes for the burgers, and I am not doing well, thanks for asking.
Well, that's not good. Is everything okay, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, if you must know, the mayor took over my farm and said he needed my crops to sell to pay for his election. I am out hundreds of thousands of dollars in corn, and I am locked out of my own farm.
Well, that's interesting. You don't say. Needs to pay for his election, eh? Do you mind if I sort of take matters into my own hands and get you your land back?
No, of course not. Please help me. David planted the corn himself, so that is not mine, but I just want to plant my own crops to help pay for the burger stand.
Well, if David paid for that corn, and David is planning on harvesting that corn to pay for the election, then I'm pretty sure I can help you out. Leave it with me. Keep the burgers on hold for now. I'll be back for those later, and I'll let you know when it's safe to go back to your farm.
Okay, thank you.
All right. I think I have an idea. That maintenance should be done on the John Deere RX now. So we've got an entire field of corn. It's just sitting there waiting to be harvested. David thinks he's going to harvest the corn, sell the corn, and then pay for his election. Well, I've got news for you, David. We are going to just go online real quick. Let's see here. Let's go and grab. We've got the 9RX. So let's go get a cultivator. And I'm thinking the very, very wide flexi coil will be good. Let's just lease this from the shop. There we go. And Wendy is on field number 20. And now we've got full access to her field. So, there's the cost for the flexi coil. Okay, so that was like 10 grand, but this is going to be a small price to pay. Let's go around the back of the shop so Shauna doesn't see us. She won't know who it is that did this. But as you can clearly guess, what I'm planning to do, we're going to take a little drive over to field number 20, and we're going to cultivate some fields. That's right. He's got a full field of corn waiting to be harvested. Well, he's going to have a really big surprise when he goes to that field and tries to harvest his corn. 20 is just up here, so it's not very far. This flexi coil should do quite a bit of damage with the John Deere attached to it. Don't mind me. Nothing to see here. Just going to cultivate some land. Alright, yeah, I can see it there. That's a big field of corn. Yeah, a couple of $100,000 would do nice for your election, wouldn't it, Mr. Mayor? Well, I've got some news for you, sir. There is not going to be a lot of corn to harvest when I'm done. Let's unfold this. We'll just drive right through. There we go, flattening some corn. Alright. Well, this will be a lot better than just driving through with the tractor. Let's unfold this bad boy. Just drop it down to the ground, and we'll just start driving in random patterns. There we go. Goodbye, corn. Haha. That'll teach you. Show up at my house at 4 o'clock in the morning. The police. Take my harvester and my header. There we go. Let's go back this way a little bit. There's still lots of corn here. There we go. Wendy will be happy. And we'll finish cultivating her land for her later on. We'll just do enough damage so that David doesn't have any corn to harvest or sell. And that way he can't pay for his election. Then, if he can't pay for the election, he can't run for mayor. And then maybe that makes a spot for us. We've got a working field, and we've got some crops to sell. We've got lots of cows. We should have no problem running for mayor. I think that's what we're going to do. After we sabotage David's plans for re-election, we'll run for mayor ourselves. We just have to wait for the election to come up. And then we'll announce our intent to run for mayor of Welker Farms. There we go. Well, let's just keep driving. And there we go. Coming to the end of the cornfield here, and we've made quite a big dent. Let's fold this up. We'll bring it back to the shop, and we'll drive through some more corn. Show you exactly what we did here. We just took out a lot of crops. Now there isn't hundreds of thousands of dollars in corn here. There's probably a few thousand, but not enough to pay for re-election. All right. That was a nice little plan. Thank you, Rick, for suggesting that we go and get cheeseburgers for lunch. Otherwise, I never would have known that this was here. I had no idea that David was the owner, or now the culprit behind the taking over of field number 20. But the damage is done. There's no more crops. Now let's bring this flexicoil back to the shop. We'll drop it off, and then we'll head on back to the farm, and I think we'll plant some crops of our own. Alright, here we are, back at the farm. We're hooked back up to the Bourgeois cedar, and now we're going to drive this over to our field, and we're going to plant some canola. We've got lots of seed and fertilizer in here, and at some point tonight, takes about maybe 11 and a half to 12 hours for the seeds to germinate, and then we should be ready for fertilization at some point this evening just before midnight. So we'll take care of that before we go over and see David about the harvester payments, and then we'll get that back. So we got $141,000 in the bank. We did quite a number on that cornfield, and now we're going to plant some canola. Just the standard 2 strips. We'll go one up and one down. We don't really need the entire field full of canola. We don't want to draw too much attention with David. You know, we don't want him to know that we've got hundreds of acres of canola. Just a few acres, enough to put in the silo, and we'll start saving for a rainy day, and then we'll have money of our own to pay for our own election in a few weeks, whenever that comes up. So we'll have to keep an eye out for that as well. Let's get this canola in the ground, shall we? Whew, okay, so we've got all of our canola in the ground, well, all of it, meaning 2 strips, one up, one down. That's pretty much all we need. We did the same thing with soybeans last time. So this should give us a few thousand liters of canola that we could use for later on. And then what we're going to do now is just fold up the Bourgeois planter. And we're going to head in and have a nap for probably 10 or 11 hours. A nap, I mean go to sleep, because I do want to fertilize that canola at some point this evening before those tax payments come out of my account. And then once those come out, we can go over and get the harvester. So I want to be there exactly at midnight so that we can go and get it. I don't want it to sit there any longer than it has to. Wow, all right, I slept a little longer than I wanted to, but it's a few minutes before midnight. What do we get? 11:51, so we get 9 minutes before that money comes out, and we should be able to get this fertilized from what I see here. Yeah, it is growing. All right, we're 50%, so we want to get it fertilized to 100% to maximize the yield. So we just got to run over here, grab the bigger case tractor that will pull pull the fertilizer spreader, and then we can get this job done. Now, I think we got $141,000. I know that fertilizer spreader holds a lot, but I know we don't need the entire thing filled to do that 1 strip of canola. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill it up to the maximum anyway, just so we can have a little extra fertilizer that we don't have to pay for later, because we do get dinged every time we take seed and fertilizer out of those tanks. It's just easier that way. So we're probably going to cost us about $25,000 to $30,000 in fertilizer, which will leave us with just about $100,000. And then we've got 8 minutes now before we have to make those payments. So that's another $50,000. So we're going to only be left with about $50,000, but still in the positive and still in the black. So we're good. So let's get this filled up, and then we'll take care of this canola. And then hopefully it'll be midnight by the time we're done, and we can go down and get our harvester and our header, and we can lock that back up in the shed so that it's not going to be taken from us again. We're going to have to change the lock on that shed too. Well, the police cut it last time, so whatever. All right, look at all that money just go right into the fertilizer spreader. Fertilizer is expensive. Wow. Maybe we should look at a sprayer or something. If we get some extra cash, maybe we can look at a Rubicon or a Patriot sprayer or something. Something with a big boom on it so that we could spray liquid instead of solid. All right. Well, anyways, let's get this done. Should be pretty easy, even though it's dark. We get lots of lights here. And we're just gonna drive. Whoops. Oh, we gotta be careful. We're ruining some crops there. All right, we have to drive in the middle so that we don't ruin any crops. So let's get that done. There we go. All right, we'll turn it on. And we are fertilizing the canola. All right, 10 miles an hour. One up, wonder maybe we're going to have to do like 3 or 4 passes. It's not as wide as the Bourgeois planter, but we'll check back with you in a little bit. Alright, well that didn't take very long. We've got all the fertilizing done now, and what are we left with? $112,000. Whoa, what the heck? What just happened? We are minus $21,000. We're $21,000 in overdraft in our bank account. I had 112. Someone just took like 100 grand, 120,000, or actually 130,000. It looks like we're only supposed to take 30, and I was supposed to pay another 20. That should have left us with at least $50,000 in the account. And I know exactly who's behind this. We're gonna go see him right now. Oh, every time. Every day something new with this guy. Maybe he found out about the corn. Maybe he's not happy about that. Either way. Alright. Let's fire up the Continental and get down there. Alright, we're here. Let's park the car in this little shed right here in the impound lot. There's my harvester and the header. Harvester's still on the low loader, but doesn't appear to be a truck there. Let's run over across the street, and we'll have a little chat with Mr. Mayor about where all our money went and exactly what his plans are. This guy's ridiculous. I can't wait to take him down. We're gonna have to put this plan into effect sooner than later. David, you in there? David, what the hell's going on?
I am not sure what you mean by that.
I'm talking about the $21,000 negative balance in my bank account. I want my harvester and I want it now. You have all my money and you took more than what you should have.
Did you honestly think that I would not find out about the cornfield?
Well, David, to take a page out of your book, I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Touché. Wendy can keep her field. I will raise the money for the election some other way and you won't be able to stop me.
Yeah, well, we'll see about that. You're not carrying any favors with the citizens here or the registered voters by taking over people's fields. I'm going back across the street, I'm getting my harvester, and I'm going to take you down. Oh, man. All right, we're putting this plan into effect. We've got to become the mayor. That's the only way we're going to get David out of there. Right now, let's just get my harvester off that stupid trailer. We'll get the header and we'll head on back to the farm. There's no way that David can be mayor again. We're going to have to get all the registered voting citizens on board. But first, we're going to have to get this off the trailer. I'm thinking this is David's trailer, so I don't really care if it gets broken or not. There we go. Perfect. We don't need your silly truck to unfold the low loader. Let's do it this way. And there we go. Alright, let's grab the header. Perfect. Now we've got our harvester back. We'll come back for the car later. I don't even care about the car at this point. I just need the harvester. So the plan is to raise a ton of money. But now that David has pilfered our bank account, we're in the hole $20,000. We're going to have to plant a bunch of crops, keep the crops in a secret location, and then sell them at the last minute, so that we can pay for this election. And we are going to run for mayor of Welker Farms, and we're not going to take any more crap from anyone.